Hello everybody, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. I'm going to give you all a second here as the class is just coming up live. And you may have noticed the title of today's class. It says Urban Detox. And so if you've been on the channel and you've been with us for a while, you'll recall that probably several months ago now, or towards the beginning of the pandemic, we were doing some evening classes called DETOX. These classes tend to be more restorative, and I promise you it doesn't mean that is easy. We'll hold the poses all on the ground, but for longer periods of time in a passive way. So not in a way where you're activating your muscles, right, holding yourself in a lunge or like Warrior 2, but letting gravity come down through our body, and so that we can reach a deeper state of compression and therefore release within our joints and feel a freedom perhaps that you're not and typically used to feeling. And so this is a practice and where you can really wander with your mind wherever it goes. Right? We're really not enforcing the breath, and the only thing that I invite you to do is to observe your breath. And so the breath can remain pretty natural, and you can observe it as a technique that draws you into the space of being on your mat. But besides that, there's really no drive. This is the opposite of your yang practice as far as we're guiding. It's called yin. So it's our version. It's a detox. And so we're going to start on our backs. And if you weren't expecting to see this title or this class on the schedule today, and you're starting to go, oh no, what is this? Right? I definitely suggest that you do it. Oh, there's a playlist. I'm going back to a playlist, Urban Detox from 5/12. So if you'd like to scroll on the Spotify and then select that playlist, you can put that on in the background. It'll feel nice, the tones, the sounds, and should contribute to releasing any tension that we're holding on to. And in detox, it's always nice to have, I have my meditation cushion. If you have a blanket or a pillow, a cushion or a block, you're welcome to have that alongside in case you ever want to bring it underneath your body, and so that you can support yourself in releasing a little bit more, or compressing or releasing a little bit more throughout your experience. And you make yourself comfortable on your back here. Close your eyes down. And whether it's first thing in the morning, middle of the afternoon as we're practicing live here, or even late in the evening, I think detoxing will bring benefits into any place in the day. You can find it a nice relaxing start, a way to clear out some of the confusion of the body or to the mind, and then start your day in a more clear place. In the middle of the day as we are now, we can use it as a reset. We've all had a morning up to this point, and this can feel like a tremendous reset. Might even then feel like you have 2 days that have spawned out of one as you split it and spend this hour on your mat. And of course in the evening, this can be a nice way to wind down all the energy of the day into your sleep. And so I see benefits and opportunities no matter what time you're practicing. And if you're ever more curious about that, or you want to have a conversation, please feel free to reach out. Let's move the head a little bit and side to side. And feel into your neck, feel into your shoulders. And if you incorporate the detox class every now and again, you may find that you don't have to modify this whole idea of modifying a vinyasa experience. And bring your head back to center. And when I say that, I don't mean modifying the poses and listening to your body during a class, but the idea of saying, oh, this class is for one type of person, and this vinyasa class is for another. Right? So more of like abbreviating and sequencing. If you throw in the detox, it's a nice way to restore your body, to bring balance to your body. And then as you get into your flows, You're going to be able to listen to your body modify poses, but you shouldn't have to necessarily modify in the sequence or attach yourself into a label of a sequence and think I can do this, but I can't do that. And with your breath, you can do anything. So let's stop playing those games, especially when it comes into the world of yoga and going inside. And yoga means connecting, union, and there's no levels to that. There's only opportunities in the moment. And let's start with bending your legs in so that both feet are flat onto your mat. And feel that soften your low back down into the ground. You may want to lift your tailbone up just a little bit and then reset your low back and so that it's flat. And we'll take the right arm over your head and then we'll set up into the fetal position on your right hip and on your right side. And so if you need to, slide yourself over a little bit and to the left on your mat. And in this case, let's bring the knees so they're as high as the hips. Your right arm is extended, and then let your head come down, rest into your bicep. Notice what's going on as we've created flexion for the shoulder, and we can sit into that compression. If you're really hung up and tight and through your hip creases and your psoas muscles, this is going to allow them to shorten. And remember, in regard to the breath, and we're letting it be loose and natural. And so no force of the breath. And as you're scanning the body for sensation, the first minute or so, if you need to make a mindful adjustment, and so you're feeling it, but you're able to endure it through stillness, make that adjustment, and then begin to settle. Give you all the opportunity, of course, to be still and to experience the sensations and what's coming up from the body. But I'll also offer you opportunities to progress. To move a little bit deeper and then to resettle and observe. Great practice as well to reflect and take a look at life and parts of life that come up, not something that you have to necessarily think about or bring up on your own, but should something appear, a memory, a moment, and see it as an opportunity. Let's keep the legs as they are. And then we're going to turn the chest down towards the mat, coming into a twist. So this right arm is going to slide back and then out into a T. And your left hand is there to support you. And as the legs remain, and take your left arm out into a T. And then see if you can bring your left cheek down onto the ground. If that's too much with the left cheek, you can stay on your right cheek. And feel yourself again, any adjustments, but you're going to land in some sensation in through the right side of your rib cage.
If you're really tight in your shoulders and your neck, remember you can always remain on your right cheek. You don't have to force it into your left cheek. Continue to allow your body to release. We'll stay for about 1 more minute. And let's go very slowly through the transition. So beginning to turn your chin back to the mat. Oh, you feel the neck and the shoulders. And slide your left hand back in underneath your chest. And we're going to use the ground to press ourselves up to all fours. And so slide your right hand back in and bring your knees under your hips. And let's take a moment on all fours and to feel the spine open back up from the twist. Feel the weight release from the neck and the shoulders and the jaw. Lots of feeling, plenty of attention to sensation as you navigate this process and this practice. And don't worry if you're a bit fidgety, if it's hard to become still in the postures. That's part of the practice and the evolution of the practice, to be able to still the body and surrender to gravity when you are probably feeling quite a lot. Curl your toes under and make your way into a downward facing dog, which may not feel like your down dog necessarily when you're in a flow. You more so represent the position versus driving towards the shape. Feeling all the parts of your body. And then we're going to come into a single-legged pigeon. So left knee comes outside your left wrist. And your left shin is on an angle, slide your right knee back. And you should be able to feel it in your outer left hip as you walk your right knee back. Once you start feeling it, it's a good place to pause. And keep your hips square from side to side. And then we can bring ourselves down. You can always put your pillow or pad, blanket, anything underneath your chest, underneath your arms, underneath your body to support you. And then we're going to start to lay it all down. And with your left leg tucked underneath, our focus is obviously there on the outside of the left leg. If you're not quite feeling it, right, you can always take the hips a little bit further back or to the left. And then once you found the sensation, let's start to release and become relatively still. And feel the breath moving in your body, but no need to force or move the breath around the body. You notice if any parts of your body are still holding on, and scan them with your mind. You observe their release and let yourself drop. And start to bring yourself back if you drifted pretty far. You can turn the elbows in as you start to lift the head back off the mat. And then from your elbows, come back to your palms. And rock off to your left hip. And swing your right leg around in front. And then we're going to lie down onto our backs here. Okay, so from the twist, and now the release of the outer left hip, bring your head down onto the mat and let your spine go flat, or you would say feel the natural curves of your spine with your legs bent. Separate your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and then let your knees fall in. You should notice the outside of your left leg feels different than the outside of your right leg here. With your eyes closed, take a deeper breath in, feel your belly rise. And big exhale, let all the air come out of your body, empty your lungs. And you can walk your feet in back together. And cross your left leg over your right leg. And scoot your hips over to the left. And then we'll twist on the back, supine spinal twist. You roll your knees down to the right. Hand to your left thigh, resting. And your left arm can go out into a T. Feel your shoulders go flat. And your gaze can remain up, or you can let your gaze go to the left. If you feel this in your low back, keep your gaze softly out to the right versus to the left. And teaching our minds to be more present in through the relationship and sensations of our body. And we don't have to run, we don't have to distract ourselves. I promise you, we need not move ourselves out of this moment, out of these moments, and there is plenty of beauty even amidst everything that is going on around you right now. You dive into this path within yourself. And explore the space within your being, the peace. And connecting your body and your mind, your yoga. Enjoy watching wherever your mind is going. You start to bring your left arm back for support. And a light flexion to your belly. And gaze to center, and then we'll start to bring your knees. Go slow. You might really feel this. Right, even a little achiness as you move through and releasing the compression, a deep breath, a big sigh as you uncross your left leg. And then let's let both legs go straight. And lying down on your back, we'll catch what's called the rebound. You've opened the channels, the energy can now flow throughout your entire body. Legs straight, arms by your sides, palms face up. Nice, a minute or two, deep relaxation. You don't have to draw yourself all the way back, just enough. And feel your fingers, feel your toes. And we'll start to set up to counter pose. It just means doing the other side. Bend your legs so that your feet are flat. And take your left arm up over your head and roll onto your left side. You might want to scoot yourself a little over to the right of your mat here. And then left arm straight up, knees as high as your hips. And rest your head into your bicep in the fetal pose. And let's continue. Keep your legs as they are. And bring your right hand to the mat, and we're going to turn the chest down. So, left arm slides back, and then reach it out into a T. You remain with your outer left hip, and begin to turn And the right side of your head and the right side of your face. And down onto your mat. And then when you get it set, you could take your right arm out into a T as well. And make your adjustments within the first minute, and so then you can transition into set and settle. And slowly begin to bring your right hand back to the mat. And then even slower as you turn your chin. Feel the breath come in. Press your right hand into the ground as you slide your left hand back in. And then make your way up to all fours. No rush, ever. In detox, feel your body, the release of that twist. Might feel good to gently move it around a little bit. You can come to know what you've been storing in your body. And again, if anything comes up across the mind, observe it. And set your hands, make your way when you're ready into a downward facing dog, please. have these stories tethered through our minds that prevent us from, really being present in our lives. You're present right now. I'm present. We're here. We're practicing. If other things appear, that's okay. To be present, right? The tool that you have is the ability to acknowledge whatever it is that you're thinking, whatever it is that you're feeling, and you're still present. Right? If you go with that attachment, if you move and change course from acknowledgement, now you're tethering to the distraction and you're moving away from being present. Let's do Pigeon. Right knee to your right wrist. And turn the shin in, and then we'll slide or walk that left knee back on the mat until you start to feel the sensation in your outer right hip. And once you start to feel it, don't force it, because you're going to be here for a while. You'll be in it. And you can always set a pad, pillow, or blanket underneath your chest or your arms, somewhere for your forehead to rest. And start to make your way down. And you'll find that muscles in your pelvis will probably involuntarily hold themselves tight. And so like your glutes, you have to actually scan them and then feel them and release. And relax your breathing. And stay loose. And cross all the muscles on the face. And as you settle, continue through this relative stillness. drifted, start to bring yourself back. And then you can start to bring it back up. Elbows come in. You don't be surprised if you get a little lost in the pose, like not even sure, right, where everything went with the mind during those moments of stillness. Dropping in, rock off to your right hip. Your left leg around in front. And come on to lie onto your back once again with your feet out in front of you. And as you lie down, feel the spine to the ground. Separate your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And then check it out. Let your knees fall in towards each other. And your right leg may now feel different than your left leg. And close the eyes. Feel the space of your body breathing. Enjoy. You start to bring your feet back together. And then we'll cross the right leg over the left leg. And setting up for the supine twist, move your hips and your low back over to the right. And then bring your knees down to the left. And left hand can rest onto your right thigh. And then let your right arm come out into a T. And set your shoulders flat. And pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. If it's in your low back, keep your gaze to the left. Okay, or up. If you want a little bit more, let your gaze fall out to the right. And relax the breathing best you can. Obviously, as your body comes into some of its tightness, you may feel that change the breath pattern. But as you drop into the stillness, the breath pattern can then calm again. Sitting in these poses, and for a longer period of time, we're allowing the body the opportunity to open up in ways and that it may not have realized. And when it opens up, the chi and the prana can flow through. And there's healing properties. And there's this idea of nurturing individually the parts of your body that you're feeling, but also holistically, as there is a connection, and from every part of your body to your brain. And so you may not know, or you don't need to know why you're practicing. And the fact is that you're present. You're here, I'm here. And we're conditioning our mind and for presence, and so that we can experience peace, and flow, togetherness, understanding, hope. Nice and easy, start to bring your gaze back to center. And then let's feel the release of this twist as your knees come back up. Ooh, when your hips get square, uncross your right leg. And then let's let both legs go straight. And set up with your arms by your sides. Make any adjustments in your hips or your shoulders if you need to. And feel the rebound here in Shavasana. Let your next breath be deeper. And begin to bring the soles of your feet together, and so that your knees can fall apart. You're welcome to keep your arms down by your sides. You're welcome to rest your hands on your inner thighs or your belly. And reset your head, neck, and shoulders. And loosen your jaw, wiggle your jaw. Open your mouth and then soften the jaw. If you haven't already, then go ahead and release your legs back long onto your mat. You can rest your palms onto your belly now. You know that you are still in this practice. And hopefully you're able to realize, impart some of the beauty of being present, and where you're less attached and where you feel less physical, mental, and emotional stress. You can be a bit peculiar as you start to observe presence as part of your being, something that you're not necessarily used to. So please offer yourself the patience. You're allowed to be curious. You're allowed to not know. You're allowed to develop any questions and that you may have about what you felt, about how your mind is working or not working for that matter.
If you're simply loving what you're feeling right now, I invite you to stay. And stay, absorb the practice another 5-10 minutes. And if you fell into this practice and you weren't expecting to fall into this practice, and that's amazing. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Enjoy the rest of the day from here. If it's the beginning of your day, a nice little reset in the middle of your day, or if you're winding your day down and with this practice. Set a little beauty, set a little love. And take that with you and share it. And we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Until then, namaste.